What's up, family? We finally have a bit of sunshine to make our lives a little bit better. The Democrats have found a loophole in regards to increasing the debt ceiling limit. Now, Biden just called for an emergency meeting to discuss what can be done in this particular matter that Janet Yellen told us that we will be defaulting on June the 1st. Also, there is a word that Democrats have found a way to bring the debt ceiling to a vote. Not sure how accurate, but I do have some details to share with you today. As the deadline approaches in less than 30 days, time is not on our side to prevent a collapse of the economy. Let's go ahead and start with the video. Yesterday, we talked about the huge warning message from the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. She told Congress as well as America that the U.S. could run out of cash or money to pay its bills by June the 1st. Initially, we thought we had a little bit more time than that, but it looks like spending has increased and they are almost out of money, guys. In fact, President Biden got a word of this and he ended up calling an emergency meeting to discuss the debt ceiling with congressional leaders. Now, again, President Biden has always said that this is not up for negotiations. However, the Republicans continue to try to put stipulations in place in order to get bipartisan support to support raising the debt ceiling. And once again, guys, we are facing another potential catastrophe if Congress, lawmakers on Capitol Hill, are unable to raise the debt ceiling in time before they run out of money, which means that Social Security payments would actually stop. SNAP food stamp benefits could actually stop, as well as also the United States may not be able to pay all of their other obligations that they have told the American people. So this could be a huge catastrophe to the economy if they are unable to get this thing passed before the end of this month. Now, I do have a little bit of good news on the sunshine side. Well, the Democrats have unveiled a new plan that could actually bypass House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, his particular dealings in regards to their piece of legislation that they introduced in relation to raising the debt ceiling. Yes, the Democrats have come up with this new strategic way that they can actually go around him and get this thing done before the deadline. In fact, House Democrats have revealed the secret plan to force a vote on the debt limit hike. House Democrats on Tuesday announced a secret plan to break through the partisan that's dodging talks over the debt ceiling and threatening a government default. This particular strategy hatched in January and kept under wraps until now, which it is designed to force a vote on the debt limit hike even over the objections of Republican leaders who control the floor and are demanding trillions of dollars in spending cuts as a condition of preventing a government default. So again, guys, yes, we already know about this. We talked about it previously and we talked about it again. The Republicans are trying to put stipulations in place in order to get their support in regards to raising the debt ceiling, in which they want to cut President Biden his spending. They believe that he has been spending too much money, which is driving up the national debt. However, President Biden said, look, raising the debt ceiling, which is an obligation of the United States as well as an obligation to the American people, it is not up for negotiation. So anyways, guys, that is where the confusion comes, because the right and the left continue to disagree, in which that is exactly why they cannot come to a bipartisan way and agreement in order to raise the debt ceiling before the deadline or before the U.S. runs out of money. Now, again, like I said, the Democrats have come up with this new way that they can actually go around that, worrying about whether or not they get the votes from the Republicans. They believe that they can actually bring this to the floor and actually have a vote. And again, guys, this is going to be very crazy, guys. This could actually lead to the U.S. having a catastrophe. Even though we are already experiencing it in the banking industry, we could experience it all over the United States. And then if that happens, guys, you already know this is going to trickle to every other country out there. It will actually affect the world, guys. So this cannot happen. Everyone, and I mean everyone, not just in the United States, but everyone around the world is depending on Congress, lawmakers on Capitol Hill, as well as President Biden to pass and raise the debt ceiling. very, very soon. Now, again, guys, there was an individual on the other side that believes that President Biden has another way that he can actually avoid a government shutdown as well as a government default, and that is by using the 14th Amendment. Now, it says right here that the divided U.S. Congress is running out of time to raise the federal government's $31.4 trillion debt ceiling, and if Congress fails to act, some legal experts say that Democratic President Joe Biden has another option to avert this particular crisis. He could actually invoke the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution to ensure that the United States can actually continue to pay its bills. Now, you may ask, because I did myself, what is the 14th Amendment? Well, it says that Section 4 of the 14th Amendment, adopted after the 1861 to 1865 Civil War, states that the validity of the public debt of the United States shall not be questioned. Historians say that aim to ensure the federal government would not repudiate its debts as some former Confederate states have done in the past. But the clause has been largely unaddressed by the courts, and legal experts disagree about what it requires from Congress and the presidency. And some, like Cornell University law professor Michael Dorff, say the least unconstitutional option would be for President Biden to act on his own to protect the integrity of the national debt. That would mean borrowing more money, which is what we've always done, right? But any action by President Biden would surely prompt a lawsuit. But the biggest question is, who could actually sue over raising the debt ceiling? Can you guys even imagine the Republicans trying to sue President Biden for going over their heads and raising the debt ceiling in order for the government to continue to run and pay its obligations? Maybe so. I don't know. But anyways, guys, it does say that it's not clear who could bring this to a case, to a lawsuit, but it could be difficult for any plaintiff to prove that they had been harmed by this particular action, a legal concept known as standing. But anyways, guys, that is a couple of ways that President Biden, as well as the Democrats, can actually avoid this particular default if they choose to take these particular action. Now, I know hopefully they are really depending on the Democrats and the Republicans to come together in a bipartisan way and agree on something and to get this thing done before the deadline. But so far, guys, negotiations are not necessarily even happening. And that is all simply because the Republicans want to negotiate and include cuts for spending for President Biden. And on the other side, the Democrats, as well as President Biden, said that it's not up for negotiations. So anyways, guys, will they come together in a bipartisan way very soon to get this thing done for the American people, for the U.S., for the economy, as well as for the world? We don't know yet, but hopefully, guys, keep your fingers crossed in the meantime. But hopefully, guys, but it does look very promising that the Democrats have these other strategic options that they can actually get it done without the Republicans. But we'll just have to see how all of this plays out, guys. But anyways, guys, moving on, we do have another issue in regards to the food prices in this country, as well as the availability of food, because this could actually affect food insecurity in this country, which we already know is dealing with a lot of strenuous issues right now, ever since the pandemic hit 3 years ago. But anyways, guys, it says right here that a looming El Nino, which is an ocean atmospheric phenomenon that shifts temperatures and changes rainfall patterns, could actually lead to declines in U.S. agricultural production. Any decrease in agricultural production could further spike food costs and exacerbate the state of food insecurity across the country. Forecasters suggest that the coming El Nino is likely to start between this summer and the fall, layering onto effects from human-caused climate change that will effectively usher in sweeping changes to the weather patterns. Typically, the climate cycle results in a wetter, cooler southeastern U.S., while regions like the Central Plains could be drier and possible much warmer. And they are noting that when you add natural occurring events like El Nino to a warming climate, there are going to be consequences in the production system, citing how past El Nino events drove big disruptions in the American crop production. So anyways, guys, according to these agricultural economics, we could have a new crisis rising very, very soon. And that is because this new wave of temperatures changing because of climate change could cause an issue with the food production in this country, which could drive up the prices of food as well as increase the food insecurities in this country. So again, guys, I will keep you guys posted on that information as it continues to develop, as the weather continues to change. But anyways, guys, I just want to put that on your mind as of now. And then last but not least, guys, we do need to talk about what exactly is going to happen if Congress, lawmakers are unable to pass the debt ceiling by the deadline or before June the 1st, when they're expected to run out of money, according to the Treasury Secretary, Janet Yellen. Americans, they could be on track for a stream of more job losses. Yes, guys, this is going to also lead to big cuts in retirement savings and possibly a surge in student loan payments in less than a month. So again, guys, we have a lot of things on the table that could be happening within the next 30 days. So I will tell you guys right now, you need to start preparing. You've got to start preparing, guys. You cannot wait until it actually happens. You have got to start right now. And that doesn't necessarily mean go out there and stock up on toilet tissue. I'm not saying that. But you need to prepare in regards to food insecurity in this country, as well as a loss of money, a loss of income for you and your family, because things could get worse before they get much better. But if they do get worse, guys, I will go ahead and tell you for a fact, you can probably expect a fourth stimulus check. Yes, guys, more stimulus checks. Yes, guys, we all know that the stimulus checks, number 1, number 2, and number 3 have been a huge benefit and beneficial to millions of Americans across the country during the pandemic, when everyone pretty much lost their jobs, couldn't go to work, and couldn't go to get food, and food was unable to be delivered. Yes, guys, those stimulus checks were the lifeline for many Americans. And as you guys see, that vast majority of Americans want more stimulus checks this year. And yes, guys, what are the chances that you'll actually get one? Well, if the government does default and unable to pay its obligations, and they are unable to send out Social Security stimulus checks and other things like that, you guys potentially can expect for more stimulus checks to be offered and distributed to millions of Americans. But again, guys, you heard it from me, Budget Bill, and I hope all this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today, but feel free to check out some of the items down below in the description. There are a few ways for you to be able to put some extra money into your pockets, such as signing up with Webull for an account where after you deposit 1 penny or more, they're going to be giving you 12 free stocks, and those stocks could be worth up to $3,000. Also, don't forget, you can also try out the Amazon Prime membership for free for 30 days. So if you're interested in any of those, as well as some other offers, check out those links down below. But anyways, if you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.